Tonight on Murder We Spoke, we discuss how to get over a little sexual assault if the price is right. And we also learn what the Code of the Hills is. Spoiler alert, it's retribution. You guys, that is the single solitary Code of the Hills. Retribution. All of that, plus super special guest Jackie Kashian. All of that, and so much more, tonight on Murder We Spoke. We're recording now. I guess I should have said that before I don't think, was everybody ready? I'm sorry.
I'm ready.
Okay. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Murder We Spoke.
Welcome back from wherever you were.
From wherever we were. There's like a quick little intro. You guys,
I'm sorry. I'm ruining it.
No.
Continue.
You guys, in case, special circumstances, Marissa's boyfriend, Stephen, who was on... Stephen. Who we all met last week at our Chipotle party, played some games. He's actually been on before. He had emergency dental surgery today. So Marissa's home making sure he doesn't swallow his tongue, probably, at this point.
Fair enough.
All 4 wisdom teeth out.
3 hours.
Oh my god, I didn't realize.
3 hours.
Of did they anesthesiology him or
He did
whatever?
the twilights.
Okay, here's what
Where
I
he's
don't
like half
understand.
awake, which is insane.
Listen, sorry that I know this isn't a dental podcast, but I had all 4 wisdom teeth out. My surgery took like a half hour. I had like an infection. They gave me amoxicillin before to knock it, like to get rid of the infection, because one of the two, they were like, we need to get this out quick. You have an infection. Stephen had, it sounded like the same thing. They were like, sorry to just like put his like dental work on blast. Stephen, what's happening to you?
You don't mind when we talk about your dental happenings, right,
but
Stephen?
Yeah,
it's not a
was
problem.
just like, they're gonna like take it out with the infection, and
They
I don't
said
know.
the estimate was 2 to 3 hours.
Wow.
I swear mine was like a half hour to an hour. Have you guys had your wisdom teeth out?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
No,
it was like
you're still wise.
no.
Yeah. I went to, when I got dental insurance, and I actually had like, I took a bite of peppermint bark and it chipped a tooth, and I went to go in and have it looked at. And the doctor, who was like, it was a cheap like strip mall, and he was like thick Russian accent, old guy.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, oh, we need to have wisdom teeth out too, yes? What insurance you have? And I told him where I work, and he's like, oh, they have good insurance. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I probably will run out of here the second I get out of this chair, and I will never see you again. But cool.
It's like, what teeth can we remove?
That's awesome.
Yeah, once he learned that I had good insurance,
Yeah.
Kitty bar the door.
crazy.
Yeah, he was all about it.
Well, Stephen, I hope you're okay.
So our well wishes to Stephen's face, because it's not...
Yeah.
Okay, guys, so we are joined by the official third chair, Melissa. Anybody listen to
Hey,
the
guys.
first 2 episodes you were here?
Yeah, I don't know how many.
And then she was like, you guys, maybe not this show?
I'm sorry, I got so bored.
She'll sit through a Pretty Little Liars, a teenage drama.
I know,
She will,
that's horrible. What does that say about me? I can't watch.
Who knows? I'm not going to say.
There was a teen hero in this one, though.
That's true, yeah.
That's it.
Like
Him and that
this one.
haircut from '88. Let's do it.
Okay, guys, so we have Melissa here. And also, when God takes away with one hand, he gives back with both?
Yeah.
Is that a saying?
Sure, it was in this show.
I think that's the code of the hills.
Yeah.
That's one of the many codes of the hills.
Yeah.
You guys, we're joined by Jackie Kashian.
Hello, welcome to
Jackie.
me. Hello, folks.
Jackie, you know her, the host of The Dork Forest.
Dork Forest.
Which, humble brag, you've heard me and Melissa on. No big deal.
No big deal.
No big deal.
You guys can come on individually and just talk about... You can't talk about how much you don't like Murder, She Wrote, but you can talk about a different show that you're currently enjoying.
Okay.
Or if you collect butterflies. Who cares? But if you're collecting butterflies at this late date, it's kind of rude.
Yeah.
Because I think that there's not enough of them, and...
Maybe stop.
Stop.
Yeah.
You can talk about how I used to collect butterflies, but then I regained a conscience and I stopped.
Yeah.
It seemed like...
Now I just kill honeybees, because there's too many of those, right?
Yeah, I collect honeybees.
Yeah. Okay. Dork Forest.
Yep.
The Jackie and Laurie Show.
Oh, which is just a complain fest about stand-up comedy with two middle-aged white ladies.
It's
good times,
and it's every bit as good as it sounds.
It's
you guys.
exactly. If you liked Pretty Little Liars, boy, will you like the Jackie and Laurie Show?
Same audience for sure.
It's the Venn diagram of our two shows has got to be it's exactly the same.
If you enjoy stand-up, and then there's some grump, which is awesome.
And Jackie is here because she has her 4th album coming out. March 3rd. It drops. You guys, this episode came out today. It drops today, so turn this off. Turn this off and go listen to Jackie.
Or Amazon and start downloading it. And
this,
by the time...
With this Murder, She Wrote discussion, this isn't going anywhere.
No.
You need to hear some good comedy. I will...
In these times.
You guys, in these dire times.
We need comedy.
We need comedy.
Let me just get the ass kissery out of the way real quick.
Enough.
Before Jackie even
it turns out I do have all day, which is a Maria Bamford punchline.
Before I even knew Jackie was coming on the show, I re-listened to her the 2 albums that are on iTunes.
Oh, which is it? Bread and Horcrux?
Those are the 2.
Because Circus People isn't on iTunes. Is that what I'm hearing?
Maybe I didn't see it there.
Circus People
on Apple Music. I'm on Apple Music, so maybe
just okay, might I say. And Bread is essentially like the best of, because I was telling you I did an album before Circus People that I edited myself without any mad skills. I don't know if you're familiar with some shareware called Gold Wave from 1997.
Oh boy!
And then I burned the CDs myself. And I put stickers on the CDs back when you put stickers on a CD.
I remember that. I love that. There's a little plunger thing that would help you put it on. I totally remember. Yes.
Sure, I remember.
That's
I made,
cool.
and then I would sell them on the road. So, "Cake Is Not My Downfall" was the name of the first album, and that track is on Bread.
Okay.
Along with probably 20 minutes from "Cake Is Not My Downfall," and then so Bread is really the best album. It's sort of the best of probably 10 years of stand-up.
Okay.
So if anyone were to start with my stand-up comedy, Bread's the way to go. Bread, it's never going to be Bread.
I think that's what I have. Because you introduced me like a couple years ago. You gave me. I think that might be
There's
what
like
I have.
sales stuff on it and video game stuff on it.
Yes.
There you go. Yeah.
And then I think honestly like Horcrux is. And
it's a tour de force.
I listened to that album before I had watched or read a single Harry Potter anything.
I need to listen to that.
I did not know what a Horcrux was, and I still love. So I just want to say those albums, like I re-listened to them, like about a month ago. Say around January 20th. I don't know,
just in a way to check out.
Yeah, exactly, and just fucking phenomenal. So
right around November 9th, I realized that I no longer could do 12 minutes that is on the new album that comes out March 3rd because it was entirely about my father. I have probably 25 minutes about my dad right now. And he said, if you put 25 minutes of material on your album about me for 25 minutes, then it's my album. And and fair enough. But the 12 minutes I didn't do there, it's a big sales chunk, and two people, too many, came up to me in the last 6 months and said, that kind of reminds me of that guy. And I was like, did you want to get punched in the throat? Because my father's not a creep.
Yeah.
And he didn't raise creeps. I know that because I got 4 brothers. None of them were creeps. Yeah. They're annoying. Because they're my brothers.
But creep-free.
They're creep-free men. And so I actually couldn't actually say, because every story about my dad sounds like I'm talking about President Psycho. And so I cut that 12 minutes, and instead of that 12 minutes, I did essentially about 12 minutes of brand new political material. And traditionally, I have never been a political comic. But I am now because I am alive.
Because you have your head is functioning, so you have no other choice.
I have me and my thumbs. Who has 2 thumbs and loves America? This one right over here. And, so the first 12 minutes of and the name of the album is "I Am Not the Hero of This Story," because the titles keep getting longer. You guys, I don't know why.
I like it.
That's how it works. I feel like it's a progression.
It's called. You can buy Circus People. Sure, you can get Bread, which is a long title. You can get Horcrux, which is a long title, and now this one's just going to be called Hero in my head, because I am not the hero of the story. And But yeah, it's 45 minutes of straight stand-up, perfectly lovely jokes that I've been writing for the last 3 years, 2.5 years, and then 15 minutes of me, like everyone else, losing my shit and some brand new fucking political jokes.
We need
Great.
that.
Yeah. I think that's the thing you just...
Can't wait.
I feel like that's all any of us can do is just lose our shit and be like, what?
What? Yeah.
What? I still to this day want someone to explain it to me. No one has been able to.
That's because it is it's inexplicable. It is literally. I have written better punchlines for those jokes. It's because I recorded New Year's week, the week of New Year's Eve, and so we are in February now. So I've had like 6 weeks of word that I could do on those jokes, and so. I hope people like them, but mostly it's just me explaining that I now did not want to be a white lady meat shield in my twilight years here. But that clearly is what I'm going to have to be because of America.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I'll do it. I would like a small statue, something tasteful, possibly slimming. Anyway.
That's all we can ask for. All right, guys. I feel like we're primed and ready to talk about Murder, She Wrote now.
Yeah.
Especially this episode.
Similar times, 1988.
1988 in North Carolina.
I was 2. I
just like to drop that in.
I graduated from college that year, you guys. I might not be super young.
I was 5, if we're keeping track.
Okay.
Okay. This is season 5, episode 5. I'm trying to think of anything that has 55. Ball player. Oh, I'd say it's this ball player. Nope.
Nothing's coming to mind.
I can pull nothing.
55.
Good.
Alive 55?
Sure.
I had a teacher that 55 and alive. That was his catchphrase. I had a teacher with a catchphrase, 55 and alive.
All right.
Okay. It is called Coal Miner Slaughter.
Slaughter. Coal Miner Slaughter.
The punny episode titles never cease to amaze.
They're great.
They're always. I think it's just a fun game in the writer's room, I think.
I think and then like put it out there as a joke, and they're like, okay, and he's like, no, guys, that was just like a silly, that was a dumbass pun. I didn't in any way mean that to go.
And we're using it.
And they're like, Ted, no, it's already, we wrote it down. It's done.
Because I just can't imagine doing 24, right? 24 episodes.
Oh, this is like, old school, like 24 episodes a season.
Yeah.
And this is
you just got it. You're like,
that'll be fine.
They're down, At this point, they're over 100 episodes in, so.
We gotta churn.
12 seasons.
This is not even halfway through, 264 episodes total.
Wow.
Plus 4 made-for-TV movies that happened afterwards.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
After? Did they ever do like Christmas specials, or I guess they were just the normal season?
There was
I think they did Christmas episodes.
There was one episode that happened at Christmas, because I actually asked our listeners, I was like, because again, after November, I was like, I want something fun and Christmassy. Murder, She Wrote surely did a fun Christmas episode. Turns out, no.
Nope.
In 12 seasons.
Weird.
How about a creepy Halloween episode? Was there one of those?
Oh, yes, there was. We covered one with Caroline Payne.
How about a weird Groundhog Day episode?
I feel like they're like, Bill Murray did it. Bill Murray did it first. We're fine.
All right.
Have you guys seen...
I was just going to say this episode premiered November 20th, 1988.
Okay.
It's a nice Thanksgiving episode.
All right.
And this was recommended by @JessMunson88 on Twitter, so thank you, Jess.
Thanks, Jess.
Thanks, Jess.
Now, Jackie, have you watched these?
I watched, I've seen some of them, but only because I spent a lot of time in the afternoon with the television on in hotel rooms.
Yeah, I was going to say, as a comedian, like, you come home and you could watch Judge Wapner or you could watch Jessica Fletcher.
Right, if MeTV is showing them, possibly. Is this got a marathon? Maybe.
Yeah.
And I remember them being in reruns when I was on the road in the 90s. So, so I've seen a fair number of them, but I never saw this one.
Yeah.
This one, I like. The tone of this one, I really liked. It was so different than every other episode, which is kind of like light and silly and funny. And this one was like, had dramatic fiddle stings and like the music was almost like a 80s horror movie. Like, I mean, I guess this was like the late 80s.
Yep.
So they were maybe borrowing from that.
They were definitely trying to increase the tension.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a lot of tension creating.
It was very good. Let's see.
I was going to say, I've only watched one episode that takes place in Cabot Cove. She's always somewhere else.
What's Cabot Cove?
Oh, Cabot Cove is where she's from, where she lives. Cabot Cove, Maine.
Cabot Cove, that's where she's from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think I ever knew. Weird. Okay.
Yeah.
Because the entirety of Maine has like 19 people in it.
Yeah.
And
This is,
Her town has like 4 of them.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. There's her, the sheriff, the doctor.
Yeah.
and the murder victim.
Yep.
What? And then there was a drifter. What?
And there's always a drifter. Someone comes through. And just like in this episode, they're like, we don't trust you outsiders, even though the outsider is...
The fact
Wearing
that
a scarf.
it opened with a hoedown that was an artificially created hoedown, and it was crazy.
I love that. This episode was very... I mean, I feel like it was very progressive. Because when Megan Mullally walks in, and she's like, I'm a lady lawyer here to take you down. He's like...
Well,
And he's like, do I know you? And she's like, oh, I'm
Joe's daughter.
Joe's daughter. He's like, oh, Joe's daughter.
Joe's little girl is what he
Joe,
said.
yeah.
You
Good.
turned out to be a right fine little filly.
Yeah.
And then, like, yes, correct reaction was like, ugh. But then, pause for a beat, and he goes, am I right, fellas? And catcalled by everyone.
Catcalled by, and then, but I did like, there was a shot of an actress behind her who just kind of made this, what is happening with the cat calling? And let me walk you to your car.
Yeah.
And
That's it.
so-
You got it.
Yeah, because it felt very date rapey all of a sudden. It was very intimidating kind of, obviously
Yes.
political,
Yeah.
sort of socio-political kind of rah-rah. Oh, you want to try to stand up to all of us at once, you little filly? And she's like, yeah, I just passed the bar. It was interesting. She said pass the bar instead of she was just like, the bar exam. I think she said the bar test or exam.
Yeah.
Which belittles it when if you just said I passed the bar, then they must have, I bet you in the writer's room, they were like, people don't know what the bar is. You got to clarify it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, Rockford Files was on in the 70s. Everyone got it.
There was lawyer TV shows. We all know,
TV shows. Hill Street Blues is over.
Yeah, we all know what the
But
bar
then,
is.
yeah, even his reaction was like, "Oh, you passed the bar test," or like, he said it back to her in like a weird way.
Yeah, it felt super condescending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy, though, was like the perfect villain.
He had such
Like,
a square jaw.
Oh,
Like
his face was... And it, like,
He's the
protruded from his
rifleman,
neck.
wasn't he? In the Rifleman?
Yes.
Mike Connors or something? What's his name? Or, I forget.
Actually, I have a... Pardon my moving my keys. You guys, I might have the unofficial Murder, She Wrote casebook here.
You might.
That I can reference for this very thing.
This very episode.
Let's see, because, I did see Rifleman in here.
Everything from 1988 I look at and go, where do I know that guy's face from? Like the kid. I spent the entire episode until I looked him up. And
In The Rifleman, he was a do-gooder, Lucas McCain.
very much so.
Ooh.
Very much so. He was not just a do-gooder. He was the do-gooder. He was the sheriff, I thought. He was the rifleman.
I feel like Murder, She Wrote is like the 80s Law and Order, right? So like anyone that's gonna have a career has done an episode of Murder, She Wrote.
This was-
Like,
yeah,
literally.
it's
like
very
Law
much...
and Order. Oh, you've done an episode of that.
I feel like Murder, She Wrote is very much truncated into like kind of like 2 eras. In the first half of the show, it was Angela Lansbury, like all the people she worked with in the 40s, 50s, and 60s.
Oh, that she got them work.
Yeah, and she's now got on her own show where she's bringing on all these old faces that you recognize that have been on old shows, like even
the guy who played Eben?
Eben? Denver Pyle.
Denver Pyle, yeah.
That's his name?
That's his real name.
And because he was famous character actor.
Veteran
guy.
actor Denver Pyle has long been identified with his role of Uncle Jesse Duke on The Dukes of Hazzard.
He was the Dukes of Hazzard guy, yeah.
Uncle Jesse.
Okay.
And then even the sheriff was a pretty.
He was,
he's
yeah,
a
definitely.
working man.
I feel like he
The
was.
sheriff I recognize.
I feel like I know him from like a Ernest Goes to Somewhere movie when I was little.
Ooh, I bet.
That's what
would not be
That's what I want. I
surprised.
feel like maybe Ernest is saving Christmas while this guy's in the background. I'm not sure.
And
Ernest is doing something.
You recognized young Travis from
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and I recognized him from Big. He played the little boyfriend of Tom Hanks when he was a little boy.
And he was also on Roseanne.
He was on Roseanne.
He played Becky's boyfriend on Roseanne.
3 episodes.
So you have like the first half where it's like all these old actors that, because we've done a lot of these episodes where you look back and Angela Lansbury starred in a movie with this dude. Started like, so she's like bringing in all her buddies that she used to work with. And then, because now we're kind of getting into this transition with Megan Mullally where the network was like, yeah, it's great to have on like, all these people that everybody recognizes from a long time ago, but it's a little expensive. So we're just going to start bringing in a bunch of nobodies. And then now that we're 25, 30 years removed, a lot of those little nobodies turned into
had careers.
Yeah.
like people like George Clooney, Bryan Cranston, Megan Mullally. Like
George Clooney's on an episode.
I think he might be on even more than one. But George Clooney is definitely on an episode. It's
Why
recommended.
Look at that face. Look at that face.
Why did we watch
that one?
I mean, I was excited to see Megan Mullally, and I love a lady in a pantsuit. I mean, obviously. So I was happy to see her.
Talk to me briefly about who Megan Mullally is now. Why do you know her?
Oh, Will and Grace. She's Karen from Will and Grace.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So,
My
yeah.
sitcom lore is pretty lame. I got lame sitcom lore.
Seeing Karen Walker and J.B. Fletcher on screen together was kind of a dream come true. It was. I was living my best life watching this episode.
And I also love her, I mean, just in anything. Happy endings. She's married to Nick Offerman.
Okay.
And I don't know, they're just...
And she does stand out. Maybe it's just because I know her and I enjoy her so much on Will and Grace, but especially compared to the blonde, curly-haired girl.
Right.
With the shitty acting.
Oh, the widow?
Yeah, with the widow woman.
The widow woman, yes.
The widow woman with a heart of a prostitute, it turns out.
Yeah. Whose name?
A little bit.
Bridie?
Bridie. There was Eben and Bridie. Was it Eben or Eben?
Eben.
Okay.
I think. Because I kept thinking they were saying even.
Wouldn't they have said Evan? I feel like they were saying like Evan.
No,
Evan?
they were saying even.
I thought it was, okay.
You heard Eben?
I heard Eben.
I heard strong B's. There was a B. That's
It was a B.
The B was the thing that was crazy.
Eben.
And then Bridie.
Maybe
and
it was
then,
Eben, but then some southern accent creeped in there and was like a little Eben-y.
Right. I love
Eben.
And it went across the entire South. The entire Southwest was represented in every one. Like Skid Row, the Skid son dude with the gun.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah, his accent was reprehensible.
Oh, Reese?
Daddy.
Reese.
Daddy? Yeah.
Daddy.
There are lots of daddies.
Far too many daddies.
A lot of daddy talk.
Well, that's
Too much
like
daddy talk.
one of the episodes I've watched. Where were they? Jamaica?
Yeah.
Oh, a
They were-
destination episode.
The accents in that were...
Well, they were in Jamaica. They were on a French plantation in Jamaica. So
Still working, a working plantation.
Just a working
Boo!
plantation. And oh my God, his name escapes me. But he was on Indiana Jones. Mm-hmm. He played Indiana Jones's buddy in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
The guy, the Egyptian guy.
Yes, what's his name?
I forget, but
He was the head of the plantation on this episode.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And his accent. Oh
was
boy, yeah,
brutal.
It was brutal.
Here's what I always love with murder mysteries and cop and procedurals is when they do a destination, and always they do a destination to New Orleans, and then there's voodoo, you guys. You know how everything has a voodoo episode. Is there a Murder, She Wrote voodoo episode?
I mean, this one...
The very episode we were talking about.
Oh,
Voodoo.
the Jamaican one?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they went all the way to Jamaica for their voodoo.
Yeah.
They wanted a pure voodoo.
Authentic. Yeah, real authentic.
Authentico.
Yeah.
Real authentic voodoo.
The opening scene of that is just... I was like, oh,
Snakes
this is...
and neon and
racism.
tribal dancers.
Just all of it.
Random
Well,
racism,
I mean,
sweeping generalizations,
Yeah,
possibly.
basically.
it was Jamaica in the 80s. It was a pretty racist place, so it's okay.
Sure, apartheid
It
was
was
still happening, you guys.
Representative.
Not in
yeah.
Jamaica. But yes.
But still.
Yeah.
But still.
So I just thought curly-headed girl,
Yeah.
especially compared to
Variety.
me, like Megan Mullally, you could see like why she went on to have a career because I thought she did great.
She did not have a lot to work with.
That's what I was saying.
again,
Yeah,
she
I
didn't
just feel
have-
like it was...
But I'm saying like, did anyone have a lot to work with?
No, but if you saw that episode, you wouldn't be like, oh, she's going to go on to be like a hilarious... Like,
She's going to go on to be one of the greatest
sitcom actresses, yeah.
She's going to create one of the greatest sitcom characters
She was,
of all time. Yeah,
but she was spunky. She had that was
yeah.
really what drove that Tyler guy nuts about her. Anyway, but she was spunky. Like the
something to
way
say.
she had a lot of heart in her acting. I mean, you could tell that she had thrown her. She was good at it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like she wasn't trying too hard. Like,
Yeah.
No, she didn't phone it in.
No.
But she wasn't stilted at all. There was.
and she didn't put on some phony accent like Bridie,
yeah, Bridie.
like old Bridie, who talked like normal, like she was reading it off the page, and they wrote it phonetically for her to read.
Yeah.
And then she just read it like that. I was back home in Louisiana. Like she would
Yeah.
just like, I can't pull up specific
No,
lines.
is there a fun fact about Bridie?
Let's see.
I would be
if,
curious where she's actually from. What if she is from the South and we're all just like, oh, we don't even know what accents are.
I
wrong.
don't think she is.
She's like, I am from the South.
I don't think you understand.
Yeah.
She's not famous enough. Let's see. We got Barbara Bain co-starred on TV with her then husband Martin Landau in Mission Impossible.
Who's Barbara Bain? Which character was
The bomb, the old lady.
Oh, the old
The
lady.
bomb.
The mom.
Oh, I was like, what does that mean? Is
She
that
was the
slang?
mom
for something?
bomb with
The
the
neckline
pearls and the
that we were all
necklace.
admiring?
She
She had a
great,
scallop.
yeah.
A beautiful scallop neckline and a weird skirt on that dress, or possibly the bunching with the belt.
It was like the belt and like pleats, just like front pleats.
Yeah,
That
doesn't do
just-
anything for even very thin women.
It was kind of a perfect storm below the belt, but the giant shoulder pads.
No one wants a perfect storm below the belt. Yikes.
If we title our episodes, that would be it. No one wants a perfect storm below the belt.
Like,
I wish you did title your episodes "A
God.
Perfect Storm Below the Belt." Is great.
okay,
That's all it's going to say in the episode description, you guys. So
I want to.
enjoy it.
I just want to look up.
William R.
Pleated
Moses was
skirts.
featured on Falcon Crest and Perry Mason.
Okay.
What season was this, Ben?
5. Episode 5. Remember
See, yep.
55?
Oh yeah.
Don't you
I
remember
can't
my
drive
great
55. How about that?
There you go,
Sammy
drive
Hagar.
55.
Yeah,
There you
there
go.
you go.
I just wanted to look up where that woman was from, just on the off chance that.
She's from southern, like rural Alabama, and we're
Yeah.
assholes. One of those two things. But she was married to Martin Landau?
Yeah, when he was on Mission Impossible. Martin Landau
Look at
was
this
on
picture
Mission
of Barbara
Impossible?
Bain, the old, like the. She's. I'm not sure what is in her mouth, but she's looking good.
Oh my god.
Does she have a glass?
She looks alright.
Is this
Like
on her
a crack
IMDb
pipe?
page?
Yeah. Right? What is it? It's like.
It's through a keyhole, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, what is she?
Is she
enlarged
drinking
that.
a martini?
Maybe.
Probably.
I think she's drinking a
Have you guys
martini.
ever made a martini?
Yes, I love martinis are my drink of choice.
They're the drink of choice?
Yeah.
Do you make a good martini? Have you had a bad martini?
I think at this point I make a fairly good martini.
All right.
And I have a couple places I like to go to that make
Decent martinis.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hear that the vermouth is the issue.
It is. And it is
Because it's gin and vermouth, right? That's the whole thing?
well, some people are vodka martini people,
right.
some people are gin. I'm a gin person and I like mine to taste like rubbing alcohol. So I like a dry martini.
Yeah.
With olives.
Okay. So a little bit of salt is what the olives bring, right?
Yeah, a little bit of salt.
Okay.
But I don't
Brininess?
like it dirty.
You don't like it briny?
No? Okay. Well.
But yeah, if you get too much vermouth, then it's like not good. But it depends on how you like it too.
Right. Well, there was a discussion. I don't know anything about
sorry.
that particular drink. My drink of choice, I believe, was, if I can remember correctly, a shot of Rumplemans or 9, and then all of the beer. So I think, in retrospect, it was not classy, is what I'm saying. Not like a martini, which is very classy.
I don't know.
It
Once
has
you're
a
on about like the 7th or 8th one, I feel like it starts to...
Right.
Ben
It
has seen
can
me
get a
4
little
martinis
messy.
deep, and I don't know how
Yeah,
classy
it's a little messy.
that is.
I feel like, people have heard you on this podcast 4 martinis deep, so...
That was only once. 4 was only once.
Okay.
Never
My
again.
apologies.
Never again.
Right.
My
But
apologies.
2.5 should be plenty.
Oh my god, yeah. It was. There was
Well,
no
they were those-
moisture left in my body.
They were
after
those
the next
strong,
day.
was it Cheesecake Factory martinis?
No,
So-
that was for Hillary. We drank martinis for Hillary, so it
Was that Cheesecake Factory?
no, we went to that one place.
Oh,
in
that's
Westwood,
right.
And then we went to the it was a hotel bar, and the martinis were like $18 and more.
I don't
Yeah,
want to eat at a factory. I don't want to eat at a factory. I don't want to do stand up at a factory. I don't want factory food.
I hear you, but
But Cheesecake Factory is pretty awesome.
yeah.
It's
We're Cheesecake Factory apologists on this show. So
Well, then I will try again. It is not just the chicken wings. Are we talking about? Is it more than that?
I always go for their comp salad is
They
I
got
get the
it.
factory chopped salad and their martinis. are good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, a Cobb, isn't that cold cut salad? Is that what I'm looking at?
basically, yeah.
Okay, looking into it. It's it turns out I don't even know what I do know, because so far everything you've mentioned, I'm like, no, I don't know what that. Who is that? What are we talking about? But I did see this episode. I thought I did not see the twist. Did you see the twist?
I did not see the twist.
I was so committed to that little kid being the murderer.
Yep.
I really kind of hitched my wagon to that, and I was like, that would be great.
Yeah.
And so I kind of didn't let myself see any other options. Although I will say, I even wrote it down because I was like, okay, how did I not?
Sorry, Bridie is from Michigan, but she went to Miami University in Ohio, where a lot of my friends went. I'm from
Okay,
Ohio.
so she's Michigan and Ohio.
Yeah.
Nothing to do.
She
with
avoided.
the Mason-Dixon
So we're
line.
correct.
So she's
yeah,
avoided
that
accents her
accent.
whole life.
Right.
And her
Okay.
IMDb page doesn't even have
this episode on it? No, it
A
has.
picture.
Oh,
So I
no
feel
picture.
like-
So she's done.
Yeah.
Yeah, she went into home care.
Yeah. I mean,
She's now a nurse. Good for her.
I mean, I know this is like 30 years ago, but I'm like, oh, yeah, I told you so.
Yeah, you're right.
Look at Megan Mullally's. I'll bet her IMDb page is pretty full.
Yeah.
Young
she
Travis still working. His IMDb page. He was in a couple episodes of everything in the last 5 or 6 years still, and he's in his early 40s, I think now. Good.
Is he recognizable? Did you say a picture of him like in his 40s?
I did see, but I didn't make it big enough to look at it.
Because there's some like little kids that grow up like from The Sixth Sense. That little kid grew up.
Oh yeah.
Haley Joel Osment?
Looks exactly the same.
He looks just the same.
Like not. I mean, it's
just a taller version of
it's
that
just a
tiny boy.
taller, hairier version of that boy, and it is.
That's true too with the kid from the Wonder Years, Fred Savage.
Yes.
He looks like Fred Savage to this very day.
And he will until he's 97. He'll
Right.
look the
Princess
exact
Bride.
same.
That's a good
Wonder
one. Yeah,
Years.
He looks the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fred Savage.
Now I'm just gonna look up that. It's
just
great for
gonna-
podcasts. Just looking up
we're
pictures
just-
of people on our phone.
Yeah.
That's
Let's see.
that's what our listeners like to hear.
What did I want to say here?
Oh, you bullet pointed about Travis being the bad guy.
Oh yeah, because when Jessica was in the truck with
The intelligentsia.
with the intelligentsia, he said something, and I was like, oh, that could mean he's the killer, but I want it to be the kid because when they're driving.
So you thought that?
Because when he said the thing, I feel like I've watched enough episodes. This is the
Oh, there you
32nd
go.
episode.
Jesus Christ!
You guys, there's
Someone
Oh.
at the door.
I think he's just dropping off a package, maybe? Let me go double check.
Okay.
All right, guys, we're back from that.
Oh my God!
Back
It
from
was
the
a terrifying
We
delivery.
resuscitated Melissa. Everything's okay.
We're good.
I just got a delivery. You guys, it's okay. Check Jackie's Instagram because
At Jackie Cation. Check it out because you get to see exactly.
You
It's
s-
very sparkly.
it's very sparkly. There is glitter everywhere now.
Mm-hmm.
Did I get a stripper? You'll have to find out. You'll have to see. We don't
Exactly.
know. Okay, so I was talking about, the bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was tipped off around minute 35 when they're driving to the face-off with the two gangs.
Yeah.
He's like, he's like, come on in, Jessica. I've got some exposition to tell you about. And then he goes in and he's just, delivering some exposition. And one of his things in the middle is, she's like, well, I feel like she, Megan Mullally's just too smart to leave a gun. What was her name? Molly.
Molly.
Yeah.
Molly's too smart to leave a gun. And then he goes, yeah, anybody could have taken the gun off of that unchained rack out of that open door and
So
shot
you
him.
I
heard that, and I was
Yeah,
like,
you've watched enough episodes that I
that's
feel like
way too
you-
specific.
Yeah.
So-
pardon me while I
I heard that, and I was like,
Encyclopedia Brown moment.
because I feel like there's been enough episodes where the killer just drops one, like just enough to be like,
Yeah.
oh, only you could have known that, because we saw the hand go in. I was like, okay, it's probably him. I just didn't want it to be. I wanted it to be the little kid.
I wanted him to actually open up a coffee shop called Thirsty Boku or something and just only take traveler's checks in 88. And everyone had to wear a beret and it was going to be like an
Very lucrative,
espresso, the first espresso bar
In this mining town.
in the coal mining town in West Virginia or North Carolina.
He's just like a precursor to Northern Exposure.
Yes.
I feel like that's where he belongs.
Well, because he was the only guy in the cast that had glasses, so I was like, oh, so he's clearly our overeducated beau, who.
That's what I thought, yeah, he
I
was-
thought it was going to be a love interest for Molly.
Yeah, me too.
Nope.
That's where I thought it was going because he came to bail her out.
Yeah.
This is a quick tangent. Speaking of love interest, this is one of the few. Oh, that guy was in Flight of the Navigator and The Craft.
Oh,
Are you gonna say this is one of the few where someone isn't hitting on
Jessica
Fletcher?
Fletcher, yes.
Yeah.
well, I thought that Grandpa was. Didn't Grandpa kind of take his hat off at the end of it?
Evan,
Right.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
think
You're
our boy
right.
Evan was just like, he's just a proper gentleman, you guys. I don't think he was.
No, he
don't-
wasn't working it.
I don't think he was working. I mean,
He
had a
was like,
certain charm. I mean, I can't. You
It
can't
might have just been a very basic, sort of a hands-off kind of hitting on it. Very cold call. This is available. If you
Yeah.
were the one in on this, you could not get on the Greyhound and hang out for a couple
This is
extra days.
available.
Because
I
I
like
feel
that.
like was he showing off when like they had dinner and Jessica's all flattered and just like with like he's not missing a beat as he's talking to her and he just moves and gets in another chair completely, gets his gun and just starts polishing his gun while he's like during dinner. He's like, "Oh well, we all know that wasn't an accident, Jessica." And you're like, "You went from eating chicken to now you're polishing a gun seamlessly."
Yeah,
because that's what people in rural North Carolina do. They're constantly after dinner. They like to clean and oil their guns.
Dinner's
not a
done.
euphemism.
Yeah,
Right.
we're not even going to clear the plates. Time to oil the gun. That's
right before we do the dishes or anything.
And he had a gun hanging in his car. Even the rich lady that lived,
the
Barbara
mom
Bain.
lady? Yeah.
Even she had 7 guns above the fireplace that were all.
Yeah, there were a lot of weapons, a lot of weaponry, and then in the end, of course, young Travis.
Our savior.
Didn't
He
they say
saved
it
the day.
twice? Folks around here can shoot a petal off a daisy before they're 10.
That was what she said. That
she said.
Yeah.
I swear
she
someone
said
else
10, and that kid was obviously like 12.
Okay, so they were like, trying to just allude to.
Like
And I also like that you have glitter already on your face, and I see it sparkling.
88.
I love it.
It's nice.
Okay, guys, it's going good. I'm going to inhale some glitter.
Yeah.
We're going to be okay.
But-
What did someone shoot a June bug? What was the June bug?
Oh, someone was on that quicker than a duck on a June bug. I don't really know.
That's
that
backwards. I thought a June bug would get on a duck.
Maybe
Like a
do
June
ducks
bug is
eat
right-
June bugs?
Oh. Us city
I don't know what
folk,
ducks
there you
eat.
go.
Us city folk are real dumb. We don't know.
We're not bright enough to get all these. Well, my theory is whenever I think about a room full of a writer's room, I've got 2 main thoughts that come to my mind. And it's ever since Roseanne, because this was post Roseanne, I think too, right? Or pre-Roseanne.
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 Wait,
It
no,
was
I
like
don't know.
the same. I think Roseanne started in '86.
I don't know
Okay.
why I said that like I knew when
Like you-
like
well,
I
because
watched
one
it.
of
Established you were
somebody-
2 when this episode came
Right,
on.
and
so.
somebody was in Roseanne. I think the kid,
Yes.
young
Yeah,
Travis was in Roseanne.
And
as
he
well.
looked basically the exact same as he
Right.
was now.
So Roseanne was the first one who had like a big writer's room, like 14 writers or some damn thing, right? And I always picture them just sitting around and nobody having the actual information, and somebody else going, "No, that sounds right. That sounds right." And then a bunch of people making sex jokes until something's funny. That's
probably about right. I think this episode has 4 credited writers too.
Okay, so it was early
but
days.
it's like the same 4 that wrote the previous 107 episodes.
Sure.
So
They're just throwing it all out there.
yeah, I feel like they just something
Like
if
ducks,
anything,
June bugs, hill codes.
It's like you guys like we've
Go
talked.
to the hills.
Yeah.
What was the code of the hills?
The guy getting killed, right?
Oh, retribution.
Retribution.
That's the code of the hills.
Right, and then they all remember when the Sharks and the Jets all came up to the, and then our sheriff. We thought he was gonna rise to the occasion, and he half-mast.
He kind of just
He was holding his gun like he's like, this is a prop
Floppy.
gun. Yeah, it was just like he was like barely holding it.
Intelligentsia dude too. Do you remember when he finally points it at Jessica? He was like the biggest sort of roundabout. Like it was like, I'm gonna point this gun at you.
He's like,
Clearly made of plastic.
Yeah, he's like, I've seen how they handle guns in movies from the 40s, and that's what.
Yeah.
Because his like arm was bent all funny, and he was like kind of
And he was
leaning into
wiggling it, and
Yeah.
it was like, wow, look at me, I got a gun.
He was like holding it in her face, like you wrong place, wrong time. It's like, what are you doing?
I mean, for those that listen to both podcasts, he was very Keegan Allen and Pretty Little Liars, just like.
Oh my God, he was Officer Tobying the shit out of that guy.
Like a really
You guys,
good
if you
scene,
watch
yeah.
Pretty Little Liars, you are dying right
Yeah,
now
you know what
because
we're
that
talking about.
reference.
It's a good one. That's from the vault, you guys.
Yeah.
The one person who held a gun, like impressively, was the kid. Because he was holding the rifle and he was just holding with the tips of his fingers.
But yeah, why is that proper gun hold? I did notice the pinky seemed weirdly out, like very.
He was like kind of just like.
But the whole
resting.
thing was maybe the
that's
gun
like
itself
how.
was all kind of his hand was all like all cocked and weird. But
maybe that's how you hold a.
it was
rifle.
distracting. I don't know.
Yeah, it drew my eye, so I just assumed like, oh, he knows what he's doing, because it was like that's not
what
how
you're
I
saying.
hold a gun, so that's probably how it would be held properly.
I've never fired a gun, so I don't even think I've ever held a rifle.
I went to the Van Nuys gun range once, and I had a cowboy themed birthday party, so we went horseback riding, went to the gun range, which there is one in Van Nuys, and then we barbecued meats. And
you shot?
That we had not shot. But the gun range was hilarious because they had like a bucket of headphones to protect your ears, and I said to the guy, "Do you guys spray them like bowling shoes?" And the guy just looked at me and said, "Nope." And I was like, well, I'm using them anyway. And then we went in and you could shoot. It was targets, round targets that look like people, like from the TV shows, and then stuffed animals. You could attach a stuffed animal and send it back there. And there were two guys shooting, and they had one of those small, like probably a 9mm. I don't know if it was that, but they did that thing where they held it sideways like a gangster, which I'm told actually affects accuracy.
Yeah.
My husband was raised around guns.
Okay.
His father passed away a couple of years ago, and his father, he was from Mississippi, and he lived his last 20 years in Arkansas, so he had a boatload of guns, and his wife, at the time, it's his second wife, right? And said, "Andy, do you want any of these guns?" And Andy was like, "No." What am I gonna do with a? He's like, I don't hunt, and I'm just gonna. And I said, "No, if we had a gun in the house, I would always be playing with it, and I would shoot myself because it was one of Andy's cousins in Mississippi. I'm like, can I play with it?
Yeah.
And they were just like, wow, you dumb Yankee. They're not toys.
Yeah.
Jackie Cation's last words would be, look what I can do.
Yeah. The first time I ever shot a gun, it was a BB gun, and it was in Mississippi. And his Uncle Joe has a man-sized safe that he keeps all of his guns in, and Dick Cheney. He keeps all of his guns in there, like for safety reasons. And his two grandsons, RJ and Andrew, were like 12 when I met them, and they were like, "Well, Grandpa, can we go shoot the BB gun?" And Andy's Uncle Joe said, "Well, you need an adult with you. Maybe Jackie will go with." And I was like, "Am I the adult in this situation?" And luckily, both young boys knew how to. They knew gun safety.
Yeah.
And
I wish my cousins did, because it's almost very similar thing, like where we had BB guns growing up, and my cousin Pete, we would go out in the backyard, he'd stand on one end with the BB gun, and then we would try and run around and not get shot by the BB gun on the other side of the yard. And that was how we played.
I mean, you're from Montana, so it sounds about right.
That's crazyville. But I get why you'd want to do it. You're just like, well, it's not going to kill me. I might get a hole.
If we can't shoot it, we might as well run away from it.
If we can't shoot it.
We
Please
learned
write your autobiography.
If we can't shoot it, might as well.
I've held a gun, an unloaded gun, in college. I don't know why a friend of ours had it, and my girlfriend and I just did stupid shit with it, like did like Charlie's Angels poses and like took pictures.
That's obviously the first thing you do is a Charlie's Angels pose.
Of course. Yeah. I do that with my fingers when I put them together.
Yeah. Just really good gun safety and respect for the weapon. Yeah.
Yeah, because you're supposed to treat it like it's loaded anyway, even if it's unloaded.
It's fine.
But the young Travis, he saves our heroin.
I feel like we prejudged Travis, you guys. We were ready for him to be just a dead-eyed psychopathic murderer.
Yeah.
Turns out he's the hero of this story.
He was the hero of the story.
Aww.
And it was funny because him and Jessica had a moment where he was like, I might shoot the intelligentsia.
He thought about it.
He thought about...
For a long moment.
Yeah. And no one would have blamed him.
No.
And but Jessica was like, gave him a little head shake.
Just a little like, probably not. I don't think so.
We'll have to hide the body.
I feel like she's like, the fact that he's out of the car now, a court would convict. Like, if you had shot him while he was in the car kidnapping me,
you might have gotten
You're fine. Then you're fine. You're free and clear.
Yeah. I also just like that there was no follow-up with the mom and the kid either. It was just like Jessica Fletcher at the bus station, like, solved another one. Thanks. Bye, guys.
The way it ended was kind of like, almost felt like a writer's thing where they wrote that ending and then they got to that part and they're like, you guys, we got about 45 seconds left. And they're like, she's at a bus stop, and they say goodbye. And
freeze frame in the bus.
Instead of us learning that the next generation of miners are going to have to deal with Ixnay or Uday or Eric Trump or whoever that fucking guy was. Like, he was going to take over the business and be horrible.
Yeah.
And like, who didn't, like...
He was going to introduce computers, remember?
Yes, computers. Oh, evil.
He had computers. He was going to put miners out of work and bring in computers because computers could mine in the 80s. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
I barely beat you to it. I barely beat you to it.
Well, the weird thing is the rifleman, the murder victim guy, he was like, this is the best way to let them down that they were all being laid off tomorrow to have that party. Remember that? That was one of the first things he said. He was like, we could, and the son, the dirtbag son, was like, we could lay even more of them off if we had computers.
I'm going to make a bad joke. That does not compute. Like, how are computers replacing minors? They are not.
Yeah, they're not. They're replacing the office workers. Is what they're doing.
Which, like,
did you guys see Hidden Figures? It's it's so wonderful.
I know.
It is Smarty Magoo, right? Because it's all math.
Yeah.
Math and space. Spoiler alert: we get to the moon, you guys. And I know. And then it's racially like, oh yeah, remember this horrible thing? And hey, people are people.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, smart people going to the moon, and you colored gals go over there and use that water fountain.
Right, but we're gonna figure it out. And I forget.
And then we all came together and elected Donald Trump, and everything's okay.
Everything's.
Is that how that story ends? I'm pretty sure.
It is not how that story
took a turn there.
You guys, I'm sorry. The times are still dark, you guys. We're all searching for the light.
We are all searching for the light.
Since we're a little down right now, let's just talk about when Bridie was, kind of told Jessica's called her out for, you left the house. Where were you going? And she's like, you were mistaken. In her horrible accent. She's like, no, I saw you.
You must have been. Yeah, no.
And she's like, okay, fine. We be banging.
Yeah.
Like me and old man Magoo.
Right. The first time he put his hands on me, I didn't care for it. I don't know what she said.
And then after that, I got used to my work.
Yeah, just like
he paid me.
Yeah.
Yeah, her story was like, at first it was super gross. Then it's like, you kind of get used to the sexual abuse.
Yeah. It's fine.
If I just laid there and thought about, I don't know, Travis.
It's like getting into a cold pool. Like, and once you warm up and then you're used to it and it's fine and you really don't worry and you really don't care anymore.
Yeah.
So that was a downer. Let's see.
Very much so.
There's one. The only other note I have is when we get the reveal of Jessica, when Megan Mullally's like, I don't have, who has that kind of money? $1,000 in West Virginia in the 80s. That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
And she's like, but I know who does. Smash cut to the bus leaving. And the bus is still leaving. It was the longest. I feel like it was the longest bus ever. And you're like, oh, there's a geranium festival in town. And it's like, oh, and there's Jessica Fletcher, and she's just like digging around in her purse. I was like,
that's
really
the hero. Yeah,
that's how our hero was introduced.
I would hope that she had rented a car and come from, I don't know, Raleigh. I've just sort of flown in.
How far is Maine from West Virginia? Not far, right?
It's probably 14 hours on car.
Yeah, it's
not
a bus. Oh my god! Why is she doing that?
Maybe it was a 14-hour bus ride, but it's a good haul.
A
14-hour bus ride is like.
That's insane.
I mean, it's like dog years. You really have to measure it. It takes a lot longer.
I took the gray dog one time from New York City to Minneapolis, and it was almost 2 days, and it was just brutal. I was like, the only thing I remember was there was a guy entirely in fatigues. Except for hiking boots, so he was not in the service. And he had a gym bag with hunting arrows coming out of it, and he had the weirdest conversation with the Greyhound bus driver, where he was like, best way to and he had a southern accent, something along, best way to transport weapons around the United States is Greyhound bus. You guys don't check your luggage. And the bus driver's like, that is true. We do not check the luggage.
And you're like, great, I'm safe.
Hey guys, we'll be leaving in just a couple minutes. I need to go to the restroom and jump out the window and run away.
I mean, because I think it was also in about 1989 when I took this.
Is it still 911? I'll be right back.
It's,
9 followed by 2 1s. I'll be right back, you guys.
Wow.
I gotta check my pager.
Yeah.
And,
oh boy.
Excuse me.
Okay. Also, one last thing I remember. The one Jessica Fletcher not hit on this episode, and zero recognition. She had to introduce herself to everybody. In every other episode, they're like, oh my god, I love you. I've read all your books. You're fantastic. I love it. I feel like, was it like just kind of a dig at the small mountain town? Like, these mountain folk aren't reading books.
Yeah,
a bit of a slam there.
Because the one, like Megan Mullally, like, she escaped this and she got smart. And what was the one thing she always carried with her? A big fucking book.
Yeah,
a big book of Shakespeare.
A big dumb book.
As you do.
Yeah, because it's the one thing her daddy read to her every night when she was a little girl. Cause
you would have thought it would have been the sonnets.
Yeah. And also, like, a coal
not the
miner is
plays.
reading. I'm sorry, I'm stereotyping West Virginian coal miners. But
from the 70s.
yeah, they're just reading Shakespeare. That's what they loved.
Maybe it was a thing.
Sure.
It was either that or Pilgrim's Progress, which they got over when on the Mayflower.
Okay, guys.
Is it time?
Anything else on the episode before we get to the games?
I just wanted to
portion?
say I liked Jessica's outfit as she was running through the woods. You know, just like a nice scarf over a blazer and skirt and kitten heels.
Yeah, she had kitten heels.
Just a casual.
You guys, let me ask you guys this. Actually,
woodsy
that
outfit
reminds me of something. When Jessica's like relaying how she realized who the killer was, like, oh, he said these things in the truck, but what really kind of pushed it over the edge was he was talking about going to the cabin, and Bridie said only people that go to the cabin are invited. I'm like, what is that? Why would a lack of invitation prevent him from going to the cabin? Because it's not like it's like hidden because Jessica accidentally stumbled upon it in like 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he was bragging about going to the cabin, but he was an enemy of Tyler, supposedly. So how could he be both a guy who had gone to the cabin and a guy who Tyler
was an
didn't
enemy.
like?
Yeah, something wasn't.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that was supposedly that was the Columbo moment.
Okay.
It
Or
wasn't
the
lining
Murder
up.
She Wrote moment.
Okay, guys. So
It was weird that she didn't. That wasn't recognized though.
That's okay.
one of the things I remember from every episode.
Okay, yeah, that I couldn't put that together.
Which even like I'm trying to think of like a popular author, even today that like.
Stephen King.
Yeah, I guess that's true. People would recognize him because he's like done movies and.
He's
really
very
put
public.
himself
Yeah,
in.
he's not like if John Grisham walked in here right now.
That's what I
you,
literally was thinking of.
I was like, I couldn't
Grisham.
pick him out of a lineup.
Nope.
But he's probably sold more books than anybody else in this
And
country.
I read a ton of.
James Patterson. What does he look like?
Yeah.
We don't know, but I know his name.
I read a lot of Mary Higgins Clark when I was younger.
Sure.
Naturally,
and she was like,
naturally.
she's like it was all like murder mysteries kind of stuff. So I feel like that would
Janet
be the equivalent.
Ivanovich showed up. Everyone
Oh,
would be like, "Oh my God,
Right?
what's gonna happen?"
She's richer than God, but none of us know who she is.
Well, if J.K. Rowling walked in, I would recognize her.
Yeah, that's
There's
true.
one. Okay.
I would
Okay.
recognize her.
So
But it's
so
not
Jessica
enough.
Fletcher is the J.K. Rowling of her day.
That's true. There were only 4 channels. Remember, in the it was actually not by '88. There was cable, but in the '70s there was just the 4 channels.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
everybody recognized everybody, I guess.
Yeah.
All
That's
right,
all
guys.
All right, let's
Okay.
do this. What's gonna happen?
Okay, guys. Oh, we are going to play the games portion of the show. And since we like games with stakes, we ask our guests to pick a charity. And
I should pick a
Jackie-
steak charity.
I know. I thought I was like, you're gonna make us eat steak? What's happening?
I said that weird, and I realize that now.
Games of steaks.
Yep.
Games of stakes. We like steaky games.
You like to raise the stakes.
Yeah.
A high marbled steaky game.
I'm gonna go with the LA Food Bank.
LA Food Bank. Okay.
LA Regional Food Bank. I was gonna go for foodonfoot.org, but the food bank is just more of a general food bank.
Okay.
There we go.
That's good.
Can't hurt.
All right, guys. So the first game we're going to play is a perennial favorite on the show
I'm so bad at it.
called Murder He Baked. Which is, again, every time I realize not a great name.
Not a bad name
It's
either.
kind of a threat in a way, but still. So I'm going to have Jackie and
Oh yeah, Jackie. This is where Ben poisons you.
This is
Yes,
the-
yeah.
this is the last thing you're ever going to do. Sorry.
Excellent. I'm leaving on fudge.
Okay, so while they taste this delicious morsel, I'm going to explain the game. Very simply, and there's more if you guys want to have more.
Right. Are you gonna have one?
Oh, I've had
Some fudge.
more than enough. This comes from the Murder, She Wrote cookbook, which is a cookbook with
Published.
recipes from the cast and crew of Murder, She Wrote. The recipe you're trying now is entitled World's Best Fudge,
Okay.
and it was
Pretty
submitted...
good fudge.
I'm not gonna lie. When I saw this, I was like, "This asshole, world's best fudge." So I made it, and then as I was licking the spoon, I was like, "Where does he get off?" And I licked the spoon. I was like, "Oh god damn it, this is really good fudge."
This is kind of because sometimes fudge is a little too dense for me.
Yeah.
The
This
way
is super moist.
they do, yeah, like the way you made. I've never made fudge before, but this was, yeah. There's like a thing you boil, like it kind of aerates a little bit, and it turned out good. So
Yeah, I did.
Paul Conti, computer graphics, well done.
Computer graphics.
Yeah, you know all the great computer graphics we saw in this episode,
Yeah, I
the
haven't.
green screen and... Okay, so how this game works, there are 7 ingredients
Okay.
Okay.
in this recipe. I will give you 10 guesses. We'll alternate back and forth between Melissa and Jackie.
Okay.
And you're each going to name an ingredient. For every one you get right, we will donate $10 to the LA Food Bank.
Cool.
Okay?
Ugh.
So we'll start,
No
Jackie.
pressure. Oh, thank God. Sugar.
Sugar is an ingredient. How did you know?
It was the only one I know for sure. I don't do any baking,
Oh
so.
no. Butter?
There is butter.
Okay, good one. Good one. Nuts. Should I pick a nut?
I know it's for
gotta-
charity, but I'm still going to make you pick a nut. I'm still going to make you drill down and get specific on the nut. Because this one calls for a specific nut, so...
That's what I think.
Walnut. Pecan?
It is a pecan.
Pecan!
I'll give you
I
pecan.
went pecan
Sorry.
first. I
Yeah.
went pecan
Oh,
first.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I thought you were saying peanut, and I
Oh,
was like,
peanut.
no,
No, nobody's putting peanuts and fudge.
Melissa's
Good for
like,
you.
does Jackie not know what a peanut is? Has she
Sorry.
never flown before? She's a comedian. Surely she's eaten a peanut
I
before.
have had
I
a
was like,
peanut.
hey, it's not peanuts.
Okay,
I've
3
eaten
for
a boiled
3. 3
peanut.
for 3. You guys are on
Okay.
the roll.
Like,
Butter, sugar, and peanuts.
but like, how has it become chocolate? Cocoa powder?
No
Cacao.
cocoa powder. No cacao.
Chocolate, just chocolate. I was like,
There are chocolate chips. I'll give you chocolate chips.
okay,
I'll let you have it.
chocolate.
There we go.
counts.
You named varying types of chocolate, and you landed close enough that
Right.
I'll
I
allow
said
it.
cacao.
I'll allow it. You did say cacao. You know
The
what? That's
bean
worth it.
of the cacao has been processed to create a fudge-like circumstance. I do not know if there are eggs in fudge. Are there eggs in fudge?
There are no eggs in
That's a good
fudge.
guess.
All right. That is a fail.
Wait, what do we have? Sugar,
Butter,
butter.
nuts, and chocolate.
I mean, there's 3 more ingredients.
There are 3 more ingredients. Yes.
Am I guessing?
Yes.
Vanilla.
Vanilla. Yes.
That was going to be...
Good job.
All right. That was going to... That's
Two to-
excellent.
2 to go and 4 guesses left.
Two more
Ingredients left.
ingredients.
And you have 4 guesses left.
Oh, I didn't know there was a limit to the number of guesses we had.
10.
Oh, did I? Yeah. I
Yeah,
said 10.
he said 10
I am
and
bad at
$10 for
listening.
every right thing that we got so far. So we got
And then
50
you
bucks.
deduct for the wrong number.
And for the wrong ones, I'm afraid you lose $30.
Yeah.
Right, the food
You-
bank has to send you money.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
actually take. Yeah.
I'm going to go have a nice lasagna there one night. And it's,
So if there's no eggs and there's butter and sugar and vanilla and chocolate, that's 4.
mm-hmm.
And you need 2 more or 3.
3 more. Oh, no, vanilla you said, so 2 more. I'm sorry, there's 2 more.
Butter. Wait. Sugar and butter. Chocolate and vanilla.
And nuts.
And nuts. Oh, good. So 2 more. And there's not really a grain going on in there.
There is, no grain.
Um,
There is one. I'll give you a little hint. There is a binder in here.
There has
Something that kind of binds
Is
everything.
it cornstarch?
No cornstarch.
Sons of bitches. Maybe a baking powder?
3 more guesses. Melissa?
Baking soda?
I don't know what those things do.
You've chosen, sadly, I don't bake.
Yeah.
One of the ingredients, I was surprised this was an ingredient fudge, but as I looked at other fudge recipes, it's fairly
In all
common.
fudges?
It's surprisingly
Salt.
common. No.
That is an excellent guess.
I just feel
No
like salt
salt.
is in every. Like,
How
just
is there
like
no-
a pinch of salt?
I want to sprinkle some salt on top of this fudge now because that would be delicious.
I think that baking powder makes things rise, and baking soda makes things fizz.
I like it. I like where you had that.
Yeah, why do we
No
need them both,
idea.
you guys?
I don't understand.
Let's call baking soda and baking powder the test. I don't know what they do either.
I don't need understand why I need 3/4 of a teaspoon of like baking soda or powder.
Obviously, science is involved.
Yeah.
But I will say this, is that I know for a fact that someone is yelling at their iPod right now.
Oh yeah.
I guarantee you
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
like
yeah.
someone, there's
They're
the
so
baker that
mad.
it's like, oh, you sons of bitches, how do you not know?
How do you not know? It isn't the spoon to spin it, is it? I'm going to say baking soda.
No baking soda.
Sons of mother-in-law.
Wood, corn syrup.
Oh, I was like, a wood?
Corn syrup.
Oh
You
no.
think wood?
Did I
You
say
said-
cornstarch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said corn
And I was
syrup.
thinking corn syrup as like a.
But more sugar?
Oh yeah, I guess it's just sugar, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, wait. You said baking soda or baking powder?
I said soda.
Baking powder.
No.
Is that 10?
That is 10.
I just kind of was guessing randomly.
What are the other two?
Just let me keep guessing.
You want to keep guessing?
Oh, no, I
Yeah.
don't. I don't have any more guesses.
Oh,
Don't
you're so
limit me.
freaking stumped. And you're going to say them, and I might be surprised or not.
Give us a hint. I think that'll be fun. Is there a way you can give us a hint?
What?
I'll give you one thing adds creaminess.
Oh, like milk or something?
More specifically.
Cream.
Half and half? Or cream?
Or what other kinds of milk are there?
Whole milk.
There's milk,
Almond
there's half
milk?
and half, and there's heavy cream.
How heavy whipping cream?
But if you're in the baking aisle, what kind of milk are you
Evaporated
Oh,
milk.
evaporated milk.
Yeah, there's evaporated milk. And the other thing, also in the baking aisle,
Powdered sugar?
you take these camping with you.
S'mores?
Flashlights.
They are ingredients in s'mores.
Like marshmallows or something?
Marshmallows.
Wait, they
Oh,
have,
wow.
that feels like a cheat.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what I thought too, and I was like marshmallows. But marshmallows is the one that's like in all the other
Almost.
fudge recipes I saw.
Huh.
Marshmallows.
Who knew?
I'm
Yeah.
calling my mother-in-law.
So
She makes fudge every year, and I'm like, do you put marshmallows in it? Those are. So what do we get?
we got 5.
$50.
All right, we're up. Okay, guys, we got a couple more games to play.
Oh,
All right.
do we?
We do. This one we got. This next game I just blatantly stole.
Oh, good.
It'll be a quick one.
Just curious.
Okay, let's see. Have you ever heard of a little show called the American Bible Challenge? No?
No.
No,
It is.
Ben.
It is on Netflix. It is hosted by Jeff Foxworthy, and I definitely watched a couple episodes.
Wait, is it about
Click.
things that are in the Bible?
Yes.
Because I was in a cult growing up, so I will know these things.
Okay, so they played a
No,
couple
but-
fun
yeah.
games that I thought we'd play.
Gabriel. No.
The first game, each one has 3 questions. So this first
Is
game
this
is
going to be
called
about the Bible or Murder, She Wrote?
about the Bible, and this first one is about the Bible and Star Trek.
All right.
Okay.
So it's called Set Phasers to Bless.
Set phasers to bless you guys.
Ben, I hate you.
I know. It's great.
Honest.
You guys, I like Jeff Foxworthy, and it's like, he's hosting a game show about the Bible? Yeah, I'll watch like 4 episodes. Fine.
All right.
I'm home on a Sunday. Am I doing something better? No.
No.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a name. And you have to tell me, is this name from the Bible, or is this name from
Ooh.
Star
Star
Trek?
Trek. Interesting.
Are you a Trekkie?
Yeah.
Okay.
I should be able to do the Star Trek side.
And we got-
Hopefully I can hold down the Bible side. Ooh.
And hopefully I can hold down the Star Trek side. There we go.
Yes.
All right,
And
teamwork.
we'll both probably fail.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get all of them wrong.
Good for me. I don't get a lot of my self-esteem from this. Let's do it.
Okay, $10 for a right answer
that is
again
set.
on this
Yes,
one. Okay.
okay.
The first name, Zelek.
How do you
Is that
spell
a-
it? How do you spell it?
Zelek.
Zelek.
Zelek. Bible or Star Trek?
I mean, it could be either one. Is
It
the
really
thing.
could be.
I get that that's the thing of this game, but
That is the
I
point.
always think Z science fiction. I
Yeah.
always think Z more of a, in space.
Let me help you guys out. All 3 names start with Z.
All 3 names.
All 3
sir.
names that are
Man.
coming up start with Z. I didn't do this game. I stole
You
it from
stole
the.
it
I stole
verbatim.
it directly. This is exactly what that happened on the American Bible Challenge now on Netflix.
Then I'm going to guess Bible.
yeah.
Do we have a congrats? It is the Bible.
Yeah.
There you
Yes.
go. Do we know
Nice.
what Zelek
Uh,
did in the Bible?
The Zelek is a group of special warriors in David's army.
There you go.
Okay.
All right.
All right, guys. The next name, Zadok. Zadok.
Star Trek.
Yeah.
Zadok.
Star Trek.
Star Trek.
It is the Bible.
What?
It is the Bible. It
What
is
is it?
a high priest during the time of David.
More David.
Are these from like the Apocrypha, the Catholic Bible? Because I didn't read that shit.
I don't know.
What were you-
words.
King
I don't know.
James Version.
King
I don't know.
James
Yeah.
Version. Yeah, we were
The
King James Version.
Apocrypha? I don't know what those words are.
Okay, so
That's because you're a heathen.
yeah.
No.
Okay.
Good for you.
I also took a Bible literature class in college, and we read the whole Bible.
The whole
the whole
thing?
Bible.
Yeah.
Front to
Except for
back?
the stuff that's hidden in the Vatican vaults. The Da Vinci Code! Go ahead.
Or any of these names, apparently.
Right.
All right, last Z name, Zek.
Well-
Z-E-K.
Here's what I have to say. If the first 2 were from the Bible,
I mean,
By
yeah.
process
I
of
guess,
elimination.
Yeah.
somebody has to be from Star
Are you sure
Trek.
it's not just Zach and you're saying it right?
Just saying.
Zach.
He was the
Zach.
first mate. He was 17 years old. He was just, he's just having a time.
Gotta go Star Trek.
It is Star Trek.
Yay!
He was the Grand Nagi of the Ferengi Empire.
All right.
Of course he was.
I was ready for like a Melchizedek or something like that from the Bible.
You thought you were going to like just jump right in? No, all Z names.
So,
they knew this. Like, yes, I feel like that writer's room was like they know Z's are science fiction.
Z's.
They tricked you.
Yeah, they did. They
crazy Ferengi.
Okay, guys.
All right, well,
the next
Their
game.
ears are their erogenous zones. You know that, right?
We
About
do
the
now.
Ferengi? Yes. Go forth.
Okay, the next game is called In the Name of the Lord of the Rings. I am going to read...
More Bible and Lord of the Rings?
Yes. I'm going to read you a quote, and you're going to tell me, is the quote from the Bible, or is the quote from the Lord of the Rings?
Actual Lord of the Rings, or are we including the Silmarillion?
I believe this is just Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, what she said.
You know what? Jeff Foxworthy did not specify. So I'm going to assume just Lord of the Rings.
So this is the way to try to make somehow get 40-year-old nerds to watch a Bible quiz show. Go ahead.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, Middle America loves this show, right? I mean, I got it. Like,
it's like they have 3 teams, and they're all like working for charity, and doing like they're all like such down-home sweethearts. And I know the Bible. This one's Jeff. I know this one. I've been reading it since I was little, and it's just adorable, and it's great.
I wish I talked like that.
Okay.
I do not.
Quote number 1: The journey doesn't end here. Death is just another path, one that we all must take.
No, that's out of context. That's Bible. You think it's Lord of the Rings?
I thought Gandalf says it to.
No, that's it's what you're thinking. What Dumbledore says. You're thinking what Dumbledore says when the Philosopher's Stone, when the Sorcerer's Stone. That means he's going to die. Death is just another journey.
Yeah.
So that is Harry Potter.
Mixing up old wise dudes, like gray-haired dudes.
There's so many.
Except for the fact that how great would it have been if Ian McKellen had played also Dumbledore? It would have been the greatest.
How did they not? I mean, missed opportunity.
I'm sure that Ian McKellen was like, stop doing this to me.
Yeah.
I'm also, because he also had to be Magneto. And, I'm going to go Bible.
Okay, yeah.
Bible.
That's Lord of the Rings.
Is it?
And it was said by Gandalf.
And it was one of the Gandalf quotes. That is brutal.
I have never read any of the books, but I do watch the extended version of the movies every year.
Which is
Does
basically...
that count as anything?
I read the books every year, and I don't remember that.
Well, you're going to be looking for it next time you do.
Yeah, I will be, and I will
Which
say to
one
myself,
was it in?
boo, to myself. What was it? Did they say?
What's that?
Which was it in?
No, on the show they just said who said it, and that was Gandalf.
Oh, fair enough.
Gandalf said it to the Fellowship.
Oh, he must have said it in the first book, The Fellowship of the Ring, not the Two Towers.
Speaking of, you just said Philosopher's Stone. Are you watching The Flash?
No. I hear it's great.
The guy that played Draco
Malfoy
is now on The Flash.
Good guy, bad guy?
Not going to say anything.
We don't know.
Oh.
He's very Draco Malfoy. I'll say that. He's
Okay.
very Draco. He's very typecast.
Is he Snape?
But they did a thing on there where they have this like ancient stone, and they're calling it the Philosopher's Stone. And I feel like that was
the Philosopher's Stone is the British version of the Sorcerer's Stone, obviously, right?
Yeah, because
they call it Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone in the American version, and Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. I have a podcast called The Dork Force. But the Philosopher's Stone is what the British call it.
Okay.
And it was supposedly
better than us.
Well, it's an alchemical thing that can create the life everlasting. It's sort of like the chalice in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, which is also a biblical thing. Anyway, go for it.
Okay.
It's all intermixed.
Next quote.
Okay.
Then they made 2 more gold rings and attached them to the bottom of the shoulder pieces.
That's Bible.
That is the Bible.
Yeah.
Good.
That is God's instructions on how to make priests' garments.
All right. Thank God.
They just did a Word doc search for the word ring, and they're like, hey, that appears in the Bible. That's in our game now.
That's it exactly.
Okay, last one. Even darkness must pass. A new day will come.
Lord of the Rings.
And when the sun shines, it will shine out the clear.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings.
That is Lord of the Rings.
From the Two Towers.
Sam said it to Frodo.
Sam said it to Frodo.
Sam said it to Frodo.
When they were in Mordor. So the chapter was probably of rabbit stew. That's what I think the chapter was. I'll be over here.
Yeah.
And so I might be wrong. Very possible.
Okay, guys, we made it to 90. Let's try and get it up to an even hundo.
Okay.
So what we're going to play is a game called Steal Sally's Alphabetize. You play this.
What is that?
This is a game of my own creation. I didn't steal this one.
Jeff Foxworthy was not involved.
Yeah.
He was not involved. He cannot sue me for this one.
Excellent.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the year a film came out and the second billed actor or actress in that film.
Ugh.
And then you're going to tell me the star of the film and the name of the film with the condition that those two things start with the same letter. So, for example, if I said 1983 and Terry Garr, you would know that it was Michael Keaton in Mr. Mom because Mr. starts with an M and Michael starts with an M.
Now, I've played this a lot at this point.
I kept track of the ones we've done.
Okay.
Because the only movie that I could remember that Terry Garr was in was Tootsie. And that was not 1983, but it was around 1983.
Oh, well, I say that, but then that's the example you usually give, and I still didn't remember when you said it. I was like, I
Next time we're just straight up playing that one, and I was like, I'll give you $100.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to do $5 on each of one of these ones because I want you guys to get at least two of these things.
Okay.
Okay?
You're really making us work for it, Ben.
Yeah, I really am. I really am. Okay, first one. 2003, Jack Nicholson. 2003.
It's
Jack Nicholson.
what was the name of that Mingling Wrinkles romantic comedy?
As good
With
as it
Helen
gets.
Hunt?
But what I'm thinking is Adam Sandler and Anger Management.
Oh, try that.
That is correct.
Okay.
Nailed
Nice.
it.
AA, yeah.
There you go. Excellent.
Well done.
I liked Mingling Wrinkles, though.
It's Nancy What's-Her-Face did one with Diane Keaton and him.
Oh, yeah.
No, not the
No,
focus.
as good as it gets.
That's
As
him
good
and
as
Helen
it gets
Hunt.
was him and Helen Hunt.
Yeah.
That was a Mingling Wrinkles. And
It's
then
complicated.
It's complicated.
Alec Baldwin.
and
Steve Martin, Meryl
and
Streep.
Meryl Streep.
And Meryl
Yeah.
Streep.
Yeah.
And then there was one other with Jack Nicholson and the guy from The Soup. Talk Soup.
Joel McHale?
Nope, the guy before him when it was the Talk
Aisha
Soup.
Tyler.
Yes, it was Aisha Tyler, and it's it was.
There
was
is. Did you
Helen
say
Hunt.
Diane Keaton?
No,
'Cause
but the one with Helen Hunt was the one where he was like he was going to take his meds, and he said,
Yeah.
"You make me want to be a better man." Remember that
Yeah.
one?
Is it about Schmidt?
No,
Kathy
it's not
Bates?
about Schmidt.
Was that
It's,
Kathy
I
Bates?
haven't seen that. I don't know.
Here we go. Jackie? No, Nicholson. Why would I spell my own name? Here we go. Jack Nicholson, asked actor. That guy's still working, by the way. That Jack Nicholson.
He's still around. Yeah, he's going to be okay.
It's
I saw him in an
funny-
episode of Murder She Wrote once.
Sean just sent me a thing about the newest movie he's going to be doing, and I was like, that sounds stupid. And he's like, well, it was written and is going to be directed by a woman. I was like, I feel like you set me up for these things.
It is as good as it gets, and that's the one
Okay.
with Helen Hunt.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
But he did do one with Something's Gotta Give? That was the Jack and Diane
Yeah.
Jack
Yeah.
Nicholson, Diane Keaton
That's right.
one, and then The Bucket List.
No, I didn't see that
Ugh.
one.
That was
That was
Morgan.
Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, Morgan.
Yeah,
Freeman.
De Niro's doing that comedian movie. Do you see the trailer for that?
Yeah.
It was like, I know,
Oh, yeah,
first
what
of all,
is
I
that?
know that comedian, or any number of guys that are that comedian, and I'm not watching a movie about that dirtbag because that guy's a dirtbag with no social skills.
Yeah, it's-
So, and the fact that he gets some 40-year younger than him woman at the end of it made me just go, yeah, that's also based in fact.
Yeah.
And so I'm not going to watch. I don't need to watch that. I see that out here.
Yeah, you're like,
I just go to the comedy store
Yeah.
and look around. So.
It's a weird cast.
Mm.
Anyway,
It's weird.
sorry. It's like a lot, yeah.
No. All right, guys. Last one. We can
Because
do
you
it.
got $5.
Okay.
Because you got $5. One more. 1992, Estelle Getty. Don't look at me like that. Like that's. This is an
I
easy
turned
one.
against you.
I'm lobbing this one over the plate
I don't know who
for
that is. I'm sorry.
Estelle
the, the mom on the Golden Girls,
Yeah.
Sophia on the Golden Girls.
Right. So Estelle Getty was in a movie in 1992, and the name of that movie started with an E? Or the name of that
No.
movie started with the same letter as the lead of
As
that
the
movie?
lead, yeah.
Yeah.
She's the second build. The top build. What's the one movie she's ever been in? That...
I can't even remember.
No.
What was it?
You guys are gonna kick yourselves.
Are we?
Stop or My Mom Will Shoot, starring Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, I avoided that movie in 1992 and I was sentient. So she was just a baby.
I was 6.
I was what? I was 8. They had
8.
VHS. I watched it on VHS.
Over and over
I was
again,
in
I
a
bet.
cult.
As we, it's your excuse for everything. Okay, we'll go. Let's go super
Let's
recent.
keep going. Yeah.
2016.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
That was last year.
One
Nothing gets
calendar
by me,
year
you guys.
ago.
Yes.
Rooney Mara.
Was in a movie.
Rooney Mara,
Who's
second
Rooney
film in the
Mara?
movie.
Oh, hang on.
She, girl with the dragon tattoo.
Obviously the American version and not
Obviously, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
not the Norwegian version or whatever.
What else has she been in? Without
Side
saying
Effects.
the name of this movie.
Side Effects, but that wouldn't. I don't think that was 2016.
I was about to say
before.
Fantastic Four, but that was her sister.
Yeah.
That was Kate Mara.
She was also in. She was in Her, but that doesn't.
Was she in her?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
She's Joaquin's old love interest.
This one, I'll give you a hint. Oscar nominated.
2016.
Mm-hmm.
Carol Kate Blanchett.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, that brings us to...
Well, thank God you were here.
Okay, guys.
I'm so
Well,
glad you were in a cult. What?
it's
so
really
glad you got
serving
out.
you well later in
I
life.
should. Yeah. Well, I didn't remember any Bible names. Sorry.
No wonder they kicked you out of that cult.
Sorry,
I'm assuming you got kicked
not
out and didn't
sorry.
leave of your own accord. I'm saying, like, you cannot tell a Zelek from a Zardoz. Get the
Get
fuck out of
Get
here.
out of here.
Okay, well, thank you both so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Melissa, thank you. I was going to say, tell people where they can find you. They know where they can find you.
Please don't.
Please
Find
don't.
me.
Don't find me.
Avoid
She's
her.
hiding.
I'm good.
Avoid her at all costs, you guys.
Listen to this podcast.
Listen to this podcast. And Pretty Little Liars returns very soon, and we'll be closing out the last... Thank God there's only 10 episodes of that garbage
Closing up
heap
that
left.
tomb.
Yeah. That's went on way too long. And Jackie, tell the good people where they can find you.
Well, I do stand-up comedy. My name's Jackie Kashian, and my new album comes out March 3rd. It's called I'm Not the Hero of This Story. But if you're in LA, I'm headlining Flappers in Burbank in March. Ooh, March
Yay.
17, 18, if you want to
Let's go.
come to the
Let's do it.
Burbank Flappers.
Ooh, on St. Patrick's Day to boot.
Oh, there you go.
Yes.
I could do my Irish goodbye joke, you guys. And and then I'm going to be in Spokane, Washington, and Peoria, Illinois, and Winnipeg. So if you live in any of those weird, disparate places, go to JackieKation.com and find out where I'm going to be. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, guys. And remember, do all the good you can for all the people you can in all the ways you can for as long as ever you can. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.